Hey guys, what's up? It's Verstine. So anyway, there was a guy in the comment section who commented. He said that I had a big schnozola. Yeah, no shit. You think? No shit, genius. No shit, Sherlock. Yeah, I have a big nose to go with my big eyes and my big lips and my big breast and my big ass. Okay, how about that? It's called proportion. But it's funny because I like reading the comments when I can, because it always gives me ideas of what I'm going to talk about. But I just thought that was really funny, and because I mean it doesn't even bother me. But I'm sure usually when somebody makes comments like that, it's because they have insecurities themselves. And you know, he didn't even put a picture of what he really looks like. He put a picture of like a Simpsons cartoon or something. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But it kind of got me thinking about one of the reasons why I moved to Taiwan, talking about big noses and stuff. So I pursued acting for a while in LA. I was born and raised in LA, but I also, I got into theater arts and all that stuff, and I pursued acting for a while. And I remember just really frustrated with my career. And you know, at the time, you know, a lot of these, when you're an actor, you work really hard to get your SAG card. I got my SAG card. You work really hard to get a commercial and theatrical agent. I had both. You know, it was just really, it was really frustrating though, because I just felt like I was stuck. I didn't really know, like, you know, I wasn't getting anywhere. And I had a couple of friends that had nose jobs. And I remember my first friend that had a nose job. And she was, you know, she told like a few of us that she was getting a nose job, and I wasn't going to see her for a few, you know, like a few weeks or whatever. And I kept telling myself, I was like, when I see her, I'm like, all right, like, don't make her feel uncomfortable. Don't look at her in the face too hard, you know, because I'm the type of person, I'm just curious. I will stare at people. So I was trying to like kind of like condition myself not to make her feel bad. And then when I saw her, I was like, it doesn't really look that much different. I don't, like, what did you get? I mean, I know she did. It was just very, very slight. It wouldn't have made a difference either way to me, but whatever. Same thing. I had another friend and that got a nose job, and this time I actually drove her to the hospital to get her nose job done. And when she got her nose job, it was the same. It was like slightly off. It was just a little bit, you know, a little bit smaller, like a very little bit. So I was like, yeah, it's a little bit smaller, but it's not really that much different. But then when I was researching with her about nose jobs and stuff, we saw all these A-list celebrities that had nose jobs. I swear, I'm not kidding. Just about every single, at least A-list star that you can think of, that's like leading lady, has had a nose job. You could just like Google nose job before and after. It's crazy, and it's just a little bit different. And then I remember I was talking to my friend, feeling sorry for myself and feeling bad, and you know, with my bad weave and everything. And I was like, I know why I feel stuck. I'm not pretty enough. I need to get a nose job. And my best friend was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm hoping he's watching this, by the way. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He goes, if you get a nose job, I'm not going to be friends with you anymore because you're fucking crazy. He was like, if you had a fucked up nose, I'd tell you to get a nose job, but you don't. So you don't need a nose job. And it was so weird because I never thought about getting a nose job ever. Like, I never really had any I never had any insecurities about my nose. I had insecurities about other things, but I don't know, like, I just, you know, it was just weird that I even had that thought come into my mind, and it just really disturbed me, and it's like he slapped the shit out of me. And I had a lazy eye though. Him and a few other people told me I need to get that taken care of, and I knew I need to get it taken care of, and I got it taken care of. So I was like, hey everybody, like it wasn't cute. So like that's done. That's like the only thing I've had done cosmetically. My right eye was like, especially when I got tired, it would like kind of turn out. Anyway, that's done. And you know, God forbid if I were in a bad accident, I was like deformed and I had to have reconstructive surgery. My nose was like up here. Yeah, I'd fucking get a nose job. But probably want my same nose. I remember reading an article a while ago or years ago on Cameron Diaz, and she surfs, and she I guess she got hit in the face with a surfboard and like broke her nose. And she said the plastic surgeon was like, I can give you a better nose if you want. She's like, no, I'm good. I just want my own nose back. You know, I was like, that's cool. It's like she was somebody too that didn't really, she was just a naturally beautiful person, but she didn't fit this type, you know. And through the years, I thought about that, and it kind of made me, it slapped the shit out of me by having that thought into my head that I want a nose job. And then I was like, you know, I was born and raised in LA. I've always been in like this Hollywood machine, and it's so weird. Like, if you're not born and raised in Los Angeles, you don't really understand what it's like, because even if you're not pursuing a career in the entertainment industry, the whole LA culture is built around the entertainment industry. And most people come because of the entertainment industry to move there, either that or the weather, and also it's like, you know, somebody had 6 degrees separated from some famous person, whether it's like you know, you work as a janitor at somebody's school that's famous, or you work on a movie set, or, you know, you have caterers that work in the industry, and, you know, laundry people and gardeners. And I mean, it's so, I had to get out basically. So I started thinking about this. It was like, what am I becoming? Why am I having such low self-esteem? And then I remember watching I had a friend that, this is an old show years ago, she was going out for Lost. I don't know, I've never even seen that show. I know what it is, but I didn't have TV then. I still watch TV. Anyway, she was going out for Lost, and she had planned this whole trip with like her girlfriend to like go to somewhere, right? And finally she gets like this audition for Lost, and she makes it all the way to the end. Because usually what happens is they'll have a part, and then they'll have like a bunch of actors or actresses go out for it, right? Just say in this case actresses. And then they'll start narrowing it down. And then they get to this thing which is called You're on a Veil, which means that you basically have to clear out your schedule and shut down your life. And it was between her and another person. And because of that, she had to throw this trip she had planned for months away, and she still didn't get it. She still didn't get the part. She's gotten other things though, but she still didn't get it. It was just like, and I remember thinking, and then I ran into another person that was like, I had seen her we auditioned for something that I hadn't seen her in a few years, and she finally got like not even like a guest star role, it was like a co-star role after like 5 years. And I was just like, is this what I'm having for it to look to? I'm letting this whole system control me. It all started with the nose job thing though. That's why I'm going on a tangent talking about this. But I started thinking about that, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave the country and go and do something. I've always wanted to live in another country, which was one of the best things I ever done, by the way. And I had a lot of teaching experience, so I went and I got certified and got my TOEFL certificate. And when I got the job and I was moving out, all my friends were like, that were in acting, they were like, no, like, don't do it. Like, pilot season is coming. I was like, fuck pilot season. Fuck this job. Fuck the industry. I don't give a shit. I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm like, you know, I don't want to be somebody that's like putting my life on hold for this industry. And now that I've been out of it, it's really clear to see how destructive it can be to people's souls. And I'm not dogging my friends. I still have friends that are in it and they're doing things and stuff. And I'm still an artist. I'm doing music, but I'm really looking for an avenue to still be creative outside of Hollywood, because I don't feel like it's based in sanity. And I think that Hollywood has turned they've turned artistry on its head. Like, acting originally was supposed to be a craft, because I am a theater, like I study theater and stuff, so it was supposed to be a craft where you're supposed to really put yourself in the person's shoes, and it's actually supposed to be a very altruistic art form, and now they flipped it on his head and they've turned it into celebrity, and it's very narcissistic and selfish and all about me, me, me. You know, music is supposed to be empowering and spiritual, and they've taken that shit and flipped it on his head, and, you know, like made it to, you know, use it to brainwash people and make people you know, make people feel powerless and worthless. And, you know, instead of being strong women, you know, they're teaching women to be prostitutes and sell their souls out. You know, it's not, you know, like, what else? Any form of art that, you know, could be positive, Hollywood has taken it and turned it to negative. And I'm not saying everybody in Hollywood's like that, and I'm not saying that people don't have good intentions going into it, but it's not, you know, as long as you have people that are controlling the top, you have people, you know, like the Epstein thing. People, you know, there are women, I know, I even heard before all this, I've heard women talk about being raped, that he raped, or I've heard rumors circulating that he raped people, so I wasn't even surprised. I heard about Kevin Spacey, heard about some other people. But I'm not like, so I wasn't like, oh my God, I never knew. Like, it's like, you know, you stay in Hollywood, and I didn't even get that far. Like, I'm not even, but you even stay, you know, you stay there, you know, you hear stories about people through the years, you know. So, but, you know, I think people did get raped, but also, you know, with the Me Too movement, there were women that slept and that sleep with people, and men, the men and women. I'm sorry, men and women, men do it too. They're people that sleep with other people in order to get roles. Whether they become boyfriend and girlfriend and it's an item, they're an item for a while, or whether they just let themselves get, you know, have sex or whatever. So it really pissed me off when this Me Too movement came out, and a lot of these women, you know, seemingly were saying that, oh, I was raped, but a lot of them fuck people to get high up on the ladder. You know, the casting couch does exist. I even know of an instance where this guy was telling me he was on a soap opera when he was a kid, and he was a really attractive guy, and the director told him that he'd give him a bigger part if he'd sleep with him, and he was 16. This guy's a grown-ass man. This person's 16. And his mom pulled him out so fast. And props to his mom, because, you know, it's really sad, too. They don't talk about the pedophilia. Is a lot of parents look the other way because they want, you know, they think that's the price they have to pay for fame for their kid to make it. So they'll let them get molested, right? Even with the Michael Jackson. And, I mean, I mean, that's a whole nother story, but you also have to think about, who are these parents letting their kids staying overnight with at this grown man's house alone? Like, who does that, right? Who fucking does that? Oh God, I just went on a whole tangent. So it's like this machine, you know, basically they're pumping out these women to look a certain way, and they get these nose jobs, and they get hair extensions, and they get all this stuff, you know, cheeks done, whatever, and they end up really looking similar, and nobody's really starts to look unique anymore. And it's kind of like this AI kind of, you know, world where people think that that's the norm, to have a small nose, to have a paper thin nose, right? What should I do? Should I wear a paper clip on my nose? Should I get a nose job? Like, what? I don't look normal, right? And then you see it in these magazines and in movies, and, you know, that's the standard of beauty. And then normal women who don't have the money to follow that standard, they're always, it's like they're a hamster on a hamster wheel, you know, chasing a carrot or something that they'll never be able to reach, because they don't have the money to get plastic surgery, and they don't have the resources, the makeup artists to look like that, the personal trainers, you know. But it's like this thing that's sold, where women are molded a certain way to to entice women, and this is how they sell their products. Because I like makeup, and I like my hair. I wouldn't, if I straighten my hair, I wouldn't do it with chemicals anymore, because that's really bad. But like white people, they use tanning, and we use the hair straighteners and the skin lighteners, and Asian people do the eye surgery. It's like they're formulating like this conspiracy to make us, everybody of every race, feel bad about how they look. And a part of it has to I think involves selling things and selling products, and another part of it is like the fact that when people have low self-esteem, they're just easier to control on any level, right? So you can sell them things, you can make them wish, if they're scared, it's a form of fear. Like people, when Angelina Jolie allegedly cut her breast off, allegedly, because I'm just saying we're taking her word for it, but allegedly cut her breast off because she had the gene for breast cancer, right? And I was saying this years ago. I said this in 2012 when this shit happened, and I was like, yeah, that's bullshit. People like jumped on me for it. If you just go all the way down to 2011 in the video, I have when I have straight hair, you can see that shit, and I'm talking about it. And now it's come out that it was bullshit, basically. People cut their breast off for nothing. And I was watching that, I was like, okay, so you cut your breast off, but then what if you get like ass cancer? What if you get brain cancer? What if you can get cancer anywhere in your body? Like what is, like, it doesn't make sense. Plus you're cutting into your lymphatic system, and that's where your body carries a lot of waste. So you're cutting through that, which can give you cancer. And you're also putting in, even if it's saline solution bags, you're still putting a foreign object in your body, which creates scar tissue, which causes inflammation, which can lead to cancer. So I don't really see, like, it just didn't make any sense to me. I thought it was the stupidest shit ever. But because people have low self-esteem, and because people are in fear, then there are a bunch of people like plastic surgeons and people that did mastectomies that got money off of it, right? And now you have women that are maimed and mutilated because it's so sick. It's so sick. And it starts with shit like nose jobs, and then a lot of people too that are insecure, they're like, oh, I'm gonna get my nose done, and then they're like, oh, I'm gonna get my cheeks done. And then you have all these women also in Hollywood, I guess they're everywhere, but that they relied a lot on their beauty, and now they're just like, they didn't really put any effort into developing other parts of themselves, so now they start to age, and they get all this plastic surgery to the point where they literally look plastic, and it's sad. And then they become very hateful, mean people, because they now have deformed themselves, and they don't really have they haven't developed any part of themselves. I had model friends. I'd like dip my toe in modeling. I fucking hated it. I hate trying to be an actress or being an actress was already objectifying enough, but try being a model. That's why all these girls are insecure. You're just constantly judged on your beauty all the time, and that's all that matters. And some of the most beautiful women are like the most insecure, crazy women. Seriously. Even though I have friends that are models, and they're gorgeous, and they're very secure, but I know all of them too have had adversity, and I wouldn't be friends with them if they weren't cool and they weren't secure in themselves. But they know they're pretty, but they know that's not the only thing in life that matters. So anyway, that's my rant for today. Yeah, guys. All right, peace and love. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.